see a support tech op that's a little bit creepy to get to know. We're also going to go up and check out a simple object interaction on this glass. Because we're aiming to make an MMO in a console, we don't want to fill the screen with skill bars that people are defining. So instead, we have a smart object system that filters all the available skills for your character onto the object that you're using based on the specialty that you're in. That's another key point. We have a you are what you wear system, so you aren't locked into one class. You can actually pick if you want to be a combat role, a stealth role, a support role, based on how you feel that day or just that session of gaming. A friend can call up and say, hey, we need a Spec Ops character to sneak ahead. He could change out of his tactical specialist outfit and go and help them. So here's the R&D center that we're walking into now. I mentioned Intel objects, which are just kind of, it's the equivalent of fishing within our game. Finding all the stuff that you've never seen before, taking pictures, unlocking missions, getting craft elements, etc. We're going to have a little bit of a lighthearted angle with our game. We don't take ourselves too seriously because the real world is dark enough. We want people to have a game experience that we want a world that they run to, not away from. So we're going to be looking here at a couple vignettes. We're going to be switching these out over time, at least have seasonal variants. This bulletproof bustier does a great job protecting the bustier, but terrible job with the agent. And if you do find yourself as a agent staying at a Prague Motel 6, you may want to be a little bit careful about the bedding arrangements. So now we're actually going to kind of quickly get our tactical specialist into a default loadout for his character. You can tell we're in first person right now. Our game lets you switch between third and first person on the fly based on what kind of activity you're trying to pursue, or just based on the play style that you like to do. So now he's set up with kind of a generic series of weapons, series of grenades, and some side skills that the tac specialist can actually use. Breaching, laying down covering fire, etc. Now, as he runs, we're actually going to switch to Lorien Grimoire, who's actually one of our lead devs on the tools back-end side. She's going to be playing Sophia, the Spec Ops character in the team. She's exiting from the med center, which is kind of a checkpoint of last resort. If you just can't make it through that mission or just need to get back quickly after dying, you'll always be able to go back to a field office where you're safe and where you can change your strategy up if you need to. So she's actually going to leave this place and go out and hook up with two other characters, James, who we saw earlier, and Rex, who's going to be our field medic for the team. Now, our game is designed to support a solo player all the way through to the end. The way we do that is all our missions are repeatable with multiple ratings, bronze, silver, gold. Every player should be able to get a bronze, and if they power themselves up and go back to earlier missions, maybe get a higher rating. However, if you just hook up with a couple other people, you're probably going to get a silver or a gold. More experience, better operative rewards, better item rewards, and in general be able to progress just a wee bit faster. So now that they've hooked up, we actually had other people in the world during this capture session, which was kind of fun, a little unexpected, but actually showing off that this is a real public space. Now the mission that we're doing is kind of a condensed version of a long 30-minute plus mission. It starts off, Das Committee is kind of an enemy faction that's Cold War remnants trying to get things back to the good old days. They've been blowing up some embassies around Europe. Here's the German embassy in Prague. You've been told to follow a identified Das Committee agent, find out what they're doing with their plans, disrupt them before they get them going. This is an early implementation of follow. So follow is what you think it is. They hear you, they try to see you. If they see you, they'll identify you. If you're not in an alias, which these guys aren't, if he IDs you, he'll instantly react. However we tell him to. Fire, run away, cower, cry, beg for flowers. I don't know. Aliases are very neat. Aliases are alternate outfits plus credentials that kind of swap out your health for an alias rating. So if he saw you, instead of actually just reacting, he does damage to that alias rating the longer he's staring at you, which leads to some interesting gameplay. Can you make it from the beginning of the bar to the back of the bar through all those goons to get to the secret room before your rating decays and they figure out who you are?